Aprovechando que estamos en el último día del HPE Discover 2016, nos reunimos con algunos de los bloggers para preguntarles si en su perspectiva cumplió con todas sus expectativas el HPE Discover 2016 y por supuesto qué es lo que esperan ver el siguiente año. De manera adicional, les preguntamos a ellos qué es lo que opinaban y cuál está entre su lista de deseos más locos ver el siguiente año en temas de HPE Discover 2017. Vamos a escucharlos. Y ahora vamos a platicar con Phillip Sellers de Techazine, quien nos va a compartir sus opiniones acerca del HPE Discover 2016. So, Philip, in your opinion, this 2016 HPE Discover met your expectations?
Yeah, I think so. I've seen some really cool new tech during the conference. Got to talk with some folks about non-volatile DIMMs and NVMe and 3D Crosspoint and some other things like that. And so there's lots of things I think coming in the pipeline that really cool to hear about and have me ready for future developments.
That's very cool. In my opinion, I think this was the year of transformation for HPE. They were focused more on showing alliances instead of showing big products, and I think it's going well for them. So what do you expect to see in the next event in 2017?
So, you know, we were here a year ago after they separated from the consumer HP Inc. And, you know, kind of expected this year to be a little calmer.
Yes.
But they've had some recent announcements spinning out their software and their services. And so, you know, it's hard to say. I'm not sure if they're done. I'm not sure what else they could spin out possibly, but you know, it's interesting that we've had those two major announcements in the past year, and I think there's a lot of settling that's going to have to happen inside the organization. So next year's hard to say, but I think the technologies will drive a lot of their announcements. You're right, there were a lot of announcements around partnerships and more of an openness to embrace the best of breed sort of solutions, even if they're outside of the HP portfolio. So, you know, shedding some of the weight of their other divisions, I think can only help the infrastructure divisions. You know, and like I said, technologies coming along are pretty exciting, where we could be within computing and in storage and in the networking in the coming years. So I think that next year, I expect we're going to see a lot more of those technology type breakthroughs coming to actual products. And they talked about some of the conceptual stuff that they're working on within photonics that are ready to be productized and, you know, inside of HP Labs, and also the developments they're working on with Micron with non-volatile DIMMs. I mean, that's a potential huge game changer that could drive all sorts of innovation.
I was thrilled when they showed the 3D cache. It's an amazing technology, and the machine, it's one of the most amazing announcements in the compute industry for a long time now. I am not saying I'm expecting a new version next year, but probably in my wish list is seeing an iteration of the machine number 2, probably a different way of compute the information, probably quantum, but it's just my wish list. So if do you have a wish list, something you would like to see in the next year?
Well, talking about the machine, I agree with you. It's pretty exciting stuff that they're working on with memory-centric computing, and ginormous available pools of RAM with processing surrounding that pool. I don't know that we'll see like a version 2 of it next year. I'm not sure that the innovation's happening quite that fast, but you know, it is certainly a huge accomplishment for them to have a working prototype at this point. So it's been cool to watch that journey over the last few years as they've moved through this process to actually have that working prototype. So I hope next year we see an actual enclosure and some more applications and things running on the machine. You know, they've talked about theoretical things that they could do and tests that they've done on traditional hardware, utilizing it the way they would use the machine. You know, sorts of analytical data loads, that big data sort of problems, and you know, I would hope that maybe the next logical thing would be working with some particular research teams outside of HP Labs to try and put their workloads and see how that actually performs in some real world tests and stuff. So that's what I would be looking forward to in that regard for next year or for the next time that we're around these folks.
Thank you very much.